I'm Tom Burton, Superintendent of Princeton City Schools, and proud to say so. Stay tuned for a few topics in this video. We will highlight current state of affairs and what Princeton's reaction to the current state of affairs in our country is. Secondly, our reopening plan. I want to talk a little bit about that and kind of some of the struggles we're having trying to put that together as we continue to wait for guidance from the state of Ohio. And lastly, we really want to make sure we continue to give voice to parents and community members, specifically around remote learning and their experience. As we put together plans, we want to make sure that we get authentic input and as much as we possibly can prior to making some of these decisions that we'll have to make for the reopening plan in the fall. Here at Princeton, we stand with school districts, students, community members all across the country as we stand against any type of racist behavior, any type of injustices, inequities, and inequalities. We have an equity policy, we have equity team, but that's still not enough. We need to understand, respect, and acknowledge that just by having those policies, just by having the practices, we need to do more, and we're gonna do more. And in fact, today, we had 2 great sessions giving staff a voice to express anger, frustration, fears, concerns moving forward. Unfortunately, still in a world that needs to come together more, needs to heal more, needs to acknowledge and respect the feelings, thoughts, fears that people of color have. So with that being said, we know that can't just stop with staff. On June 18th, we're going to provide students an opportunity to come together as well. So stay tuned for more information about the June 18th program for students. But that's still not enough. We're going to provide space for community. That's still not enough. This needs to be recurring, and it will recur over and over and over again. We're going to tabulate all the different thoughts and concerns that people have, and we're going to try to make all of those actionable so we can finally live in a place and work in a place that is all about equity throughout the entire school district. It's all about equity throughout our communities. It's about equity, and it's about non-racist behavior. It's about understanding, recognizing, and appreciating. And we're going to do that. The second topic that we're going to cover is a reopening plan. Boy, I sure would like to tell you that we have our plans all set and we're going to communicate everything, but we're still waiting for guidance from the state of Ohio. The biggest concern that we have right now is transportation. And before we get into any type of additional details, what we want the kids in schools. That's what we want. We want all the students in schools. Schools were built for students to be in them. The staff wants that. We know that you want that. That's where we develop the great relationships. We intervene at the highest levels. We provide all kinds of wonderful opportunities for students. We want our students in our schools. Here's a couple harsh realities right now. The current transportation guidelines that we're hearing about right now, again, a lot can change, it's just early June. But what we're hearing about right now is going to prohibit us to have everybody back at school. And that's not something that we want, but it's a current reality right now. So we need to make sure that we get the guidelines, transportation guidelines. We need to get the social distancing guidelines, the official ones. And once we get all that, we still have a lot of work to do. So we're providing voice. If you hadn't have an opportunity to fill out a parent survey, please make sure you do that. You can find information on our website at Princeton City at www.princetonschools.net. On Monday, June 15th, and Tuesday, June 16th, the Princeton City School District will work collaboratively with parents, staff, and community members, reviewing and putting together plans for reopening schools in August. We really appreciate all those parents, students, and staff who had the opportunity to complete a survey, which is going to be very informative as we move forward on our plans. Don't worry, though, if you haven't had an opportunity to complete a survey. You will have an opportunity to weigh in on the plans that we will be releasing by June 23rd. In case COVID-19 comes back fiercely, we may need to shut down schools again. We're told right now to make sure that we have a plan that we will be able to one day be in school and the next day have learning happen at home. So we know that we've done that. Now, we want to make sure we capture your feelings all around your experience. So again, there's an opportunity to provide some feedback for us on that entire experience, and that could be found again not only on our district Facebook, on our Twitter, Instagram, but also on our website, www.princetonschools.net. In conclusion, I'm reminded of some comments I made to the class of 2020 during commencement, that we started the year off with a clear vision. The class of 2020, after all, 2020, perfect vision. Nobody could have anticipated the pandemic, and it certainly has caused us to re-examine and reevaluate some of the things that we've done. But I'd be remiss if I did not thank so many people. And for the sake of time, I'm going to generally thank our students who did an amazing job stepping up, especially during these tumultuous times. Our staff for being creative, for being flexible, for being so dogged to make sure that they are following up with students. Amazing work. Our entire staff for doing so many things outside of what they normally do, just to make sure that we continue to empower each student. Our administrators, building level, district-wide, just absolutely amazing. Our city officials for supporting us, for recognizing the class of 2020, doing a proclamation. Each mayor signed a proclamation, and it was beautiful, everybody coming together, and that's what we consistently need to do, not only in our district, in our region, state, but also the country. And lastly, all those community organizations for coming together. And many, many, many organizations did so very much. The Princeton Closet, Valley Boosters, St. Monica's Center, and the list continues to go on. The great work that happened with Compass Church, the great work that happened with many of our religious partners. The Rotary stepped up and did so much. Helping Hands stepped up and did so much, provided all kinds of revenues. Those people who provided private donations. And I know that some of you may be thinking, well, what about this organization or that organization? I could go on and on and on. You know, the adage, it takes a village. We've certainly seen that. And we've stepped up as Vikings. We've stepped up as communities. We need to do that each and every day. We can't let this pass. We still have so much work to do as a district. We have much work to do as well as communities and as an entire educational organization, and again, the communities coming together. That's something that we have to do. And so from the bottom of my heart, I say thank you for each and every one of you. And the parents, the amazing support you've shown us throughout the entire process, the emails, the text messages, Facebook posts, and all of that. And again, we're not perfect, so I know there's some frustration that people shared there. I would just encourage you to always reach out to us to see what we can do. But the parents, you became different teachers. You're your child's first teacher, but it looked a little bit different, and you stepped up, and I wanted to end it with parents, because far too often parents don't get the praise. So thank you, parents, for the great work that you've done and the continued support. And again, please don't forget to chime in on the survey for the reopening plan, the survey for the remote learning plan, and your perspective on that. And let's come together so we as a people can finally end the institutional racism that we've seen throughout the country. And of course, as always, go Vikes.